Hey, it's Ryan from Upfit Supply, and in this video we're going to be installing a Vantech H1 ladder rack on our GMC Savana van. We have our installation manual from Vantech, so get yours out of the box and let's get started. All right, one of the nice things from Vantech is they give you a printed installation guide in the box, and there's also a full parts list on the back, so you can go through this and make sure you have all of your hardware. Anything's missing, you can reach out to them or give us a call and we will get you taken care of. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of bench prep before we get onto the vehicle. Behind me, we have a 3-bar steel system, and before we get over to the van, I just want to take our crossbars and I wanna put our rubber bar guards on these. Now, this process is gonna be a little bit different if you have an aluminum kit, because basically the steel kit comes with a strip of this rubber material, textured rubber material, tape, and it's got adhesive on the back. You just peel it off and we're gonna stick it on there. If you have the aluminum crossbar, there's actually gonna be a channel in the top, it's extruded aluminum, and you actually slide a bar guard in place, or you can press it in place with your thumb, wherever you wanna do that. So we're gonna go ahead and do this now while we're here on the bench, make it nice and easy. And we just want to make sure that this is going to be centered on the crossbar. I believe the instructions call for about 4 inches on either side of the crossbar, but I'm just going to take my eyeball measurement right here and find that this is centered on the crossbar, and go ahead and push this in place. Go ahead and press up against this, make sure nice and stuck to this bar. I like to put it upside down and kind of put my full weight on it as well. And we'll move on to our next one. Okay, one more thing I want to do before we get on the vehicle is I want to take my hook and loop straps. These are going to be on the rear crossbar, so just take one of your crossbars and designate that one as your rear crossbar, and we're going to slide these on to the crossbar so we don't forget about it when the crossbar is already in place and secured to the upright. So basically the way that you want to attach this is it comes to you like this, with the logo facing essentially where the back of the van is. And so there's a little loop here that are metal pieces right here, and so this is going to be my rear crossbar. I'm going to slide one of these on. If you got the 2-bar kit, you're going to only have one of these. If you have the 3-bar kit, you'll have 3, unless you purchased an additional ladder mount kit when you bought your rack. All right, we're all set and ready to get started on the van. All right, well, I gave you a little bit of bad information in the last bit of the video. There are 3, if you have the 3 crossbars, your rear crossbar is actually a different length or width than the other ones. You got 57-inch on your middle bar, 57-inch on your front board, 56-inch on your rear bar. And so with those hook and loop straps, you can't just choose any random crossbar. It has to go on that 56-inch long crossbar. So you can set them next to each other, see which one is shorter, and put them on there. So now I'm using my rear, either the rear or front upright, not the middle one. Just make sure you're grabbing the right one. And we're going to take this upright and place our little protector on it for the drip edge. And we just come in here and we create a nice little clamp with a carriage bolt. We're using a washer and a lock nut. The inside, I'm going into the top hole. There's 2 holes on the bottom of this on the upright. I'm going into the top one. That one lines up nicely for us. Okay, I'm gonna go get my wrench. We've got a 1/2-inch socket on here. I'm just gonna get this tight enough and snug so it's not gonna fall off as I'm assembling. So I'm leaving this generally loose because I do want, some adjustment in here as I'm gonna come in on the other side, put the crossbar in, all of that, and then we'll tighten everything down at the end. So I have our rear upright. I'm gonna do the middle one and then the front. It's exactly the same process. You just wanna make sure on your middle upright that you're choosing that H0 or you're using the one that's for the middle, it's boxed differently than these front and rear ones. I'm just gonna take some quick measurements. I wanna be able to fit a 6-foot step ladder on here, so I'm gonna have this be at about 5 feet for my middle crossbar, which is gonna be right behind this door. And go another 5 feet and get me right behind that door. All right, there is a little bit of variability in this kit, so you want to make sure that you can take a measurement from a fixed point so that you can get your uprights mounted in the same location. I'm at 9 1/4 from the back right here. I'm gonna just make sure that I do that on this other crossbar. And kind of in one motion here, we're gonna take our 56-inch or our shorter crossbar and just slide this into the upright on the passenger side. Let it sit there. And I'm gonna take my other upright here, slide it in place, and get this clamp lined up over here. Now again, before I get this too tight, I'm gonna go ahead and take my measurement from that same fixed point. Make sure this is square. I'm gonna use a different point here because like there's been a modification. Now again, before I get everything nice and tight to the vehicle, I do want to make sure that my uprights are perpendicular to the roof line, so we do have that nice 90-degree angle with our uprights here. And I'll double check all my measurements and get everything tightened down. I'm going to do the same thing here on my middle bar and my front bar using those 57-inch crossbars. Again here, one motion, slide this in over here. Again, making sure I'm using my middle bar upright and my 57-inch crossbar. Go ahead and take my measurement here for my rear crossbar. All right, once I'm good with all of my crossbars, I double check all of my measurements and my uprights. Everything's perpendicular to the roof line, 90-degree angle, and go ahead and tighten down all of my attachment points. Then we're gonna come back through here and attach our crossbars to the uprights. Now finally, I'm going to attach the crossbar to these uprights using the included self-threading screws. I like to come in from the back just to gives it less stuff hitting it as you're going down the road, but it's really up to you. Make sure this crossbar is centered here. I'm gonna do 2 per side. Now our final step here is going to be to attach our ladder guides and our ladder stoppers. Stopper has a little 90-degree up front. You're going to put this on either your front bar, your middle bar. Your front bar will be for your extension ladders because it's going to go from here all the way to the back. Maybe you could do a second one here on your middle bar for your step ladders. Middle bar here, I'm going to do a guide for my extension ladder. I like to do my knobs on the back side of the crossbar. Theoretically less wind noise resistance and all of that, but you can do it either way. I'm gonna do a stopper here on my middle bar for my step ladders. And that just about does it for the installation of this Vantech H1 ladder rack on our GMC Savana. Now the installation is going to be pretty much identical for those Chevrolet Express vans. Although it is a different part number, it's basically the same kit. Now, if you're looking for this H1 system or any other equipment to get your van or truck ready for work, be sure to check us out at upfitsupply.com. My name is Ryan, and have a good one.